You are now listening to Nexxlegacy Radio, a radio station for the people.
How's life with you, beautiful queen?
Life is great. I claimed happiness years ago. Thank you for asking. And yourself?
Listen. If you claiming happiness, all I want to do is just bring more, more sunshine in your life. So if I'm able to do that, then that's win. So
bring it.
I just want to add to it, baby. That's all I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do.
It.
That's what's up. Let me go ahead and start this intro. This is Nexxlegacy Radio. I am Branded here with my guest, my beautiful guest. My guest has a lot to say, and I have a lot to ask, and I want everybody out there that is listening, will be listening, who will be turned up, wanting to conversate about, stuff that I'm sure is going to be interesting in your neck of the woods, in your state or whatnot, since we are worldwide. I want to introduce the queen of Best Buds with Tom and Mom. She goes by the name of Denise Walker, but Chemical, is that your alias, or is that like that's your alias. That's your alias, right?
Yes, more or less. Chemical is how I'm known as a bartender. So it's also how I'm known on Facebook. And it stands out. If someone puts in Denise Walker, you might get a couple. If you put in Chemical, you get me.
I got you, man. I got you. Chemical Denise Walker is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. What's up, girl?
What's up? Life is good. Life is good.
I'm glad.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on your program, because our show, Best Buds with Tom and Mom, we've been on for about 2 years now, and it's fun. So, for once I get to talk to someone else instead of someone coming to talk with us.
Well, listen, not only are you going to talk to me, we got a lot to talk about in general, like off air and on air. So I'm just glad that you're here with me so we can talk shop as far as how you've been doing. So you've had Best Buds with Tom and Mom for a couple of years now. So how has that journey been? And what's the consensus that your base of supporters have given you in regards to it?
It's like 3 questions. Jeez. Yeah. Get on the show and start multitasking already.
Hey, I told you I was gonna hit you with something quick, baby. I got you. I got you, baby.
Jeez. I know it's early over there, but over here it's 10 p.m. So
you are. Oh my God, you have a fun.
That's right. That's right. Over here it's 10 p.m. You over there it's 7.
Hey,
okay.
And listen, you got me wide awake right now. So listen, I'm gonna be up even after the interview. So there you go. There you go.
Oh, hey now, thanks for the heads up. That's see, back at you. Best Buds with Tom and Mom. We are fun. We are coming along. Again, we started 2 years ago. Someone asked me to do a house music radio. They wanted me to do a house music program on their radio station program or whatever they had going on. I thought that was boring because me being a house head, of course, I listened to other people's house music stations. So I said no, and if I couldn't come up with anything better, or I advised him to someone else, and I said, well, if they say no, then I'll do it. Someone else said no, so there I was stuck to do this program.
Right.
So I asked my son, and then next I know, Best Buds, Tom and Mom. We were with WWFN, then we were on Power 4.4 Radio. Since we've been on, we've hosted Maryland, had their first 420 festival 2 years ago. Of course, it was canceled because of the coronavirus, but it was called the Charm City Music Festival. Mm-hmm. And that was their first weed festival, so we hosted that. And then there was also the Cannabis Science Convention, which was everything surrounding growing cannabis, from making waxes, any and everything you needed, from advertising to just anywhere, seeds, anything. And we hosted that as well. We kind of got put on hold because of, the whole coronavirus thing as far as getting out in public, which is what we really love to do. But our program, well, we were kind of on hold with that too because it's a cannabis conversation infused with house music. So, DJs didn't want to come in. But now that things are opening back up, we're hoping to have more DJs come in because, it is house music. And the whole basis of what we do is we are for the legalization of cannabis worldwide. I mean, it's legal in other countries, and they don't have a problem with it. So I don't know why the USA should.
Right. How is the connection with some of the other people on social media, all that stuff? Like how people
the third question. I knew I was forgetting something.
Hey, listen, I got your back. Baby. I got your back. I got you on a follow-up. I got you, girl.
Thank you.
How's it been, though?
I think our social media, to me, has been very positive. Even people that are not what we consider to be 420 friendly will listen to the program, or even people that can't smoke because of their job or personal preference, or those that are on just straight CBD for any type of body pains and they take edibles. We have our audience goes from younger to older because it's Best Buds with Tom and Mom, and my son is 22, and I am not. So we have that type of audience, and then he has his audience that follows him on the Instagram page, and but we really want to pull it all together. But all in all, we have a positive, very, very positive feedback, very positive support. We even have regulars, people that just regularly tune in.
When you think back on how you started this, and I've gotten a chance to listen to a lot of your live shows, and one thing that I've noticed is, obviously the conversation is surrounding, you have topics on, state legalization of, marijuana, certain plans that some states have, more, 420 friendly, as you can say, but also more educational. How is that pretty much just kind of, breaks it down consensus-wise as far as just, trying to dive deep into why is it not legal in certain states, and just trying to just uncover or discover certain reasons why and what you guys can do or what we can do to help with legalization in other states or whatnot. Because I find that your show is not only educational, it's also inspiring,
fun
a lot
and
of
informative.
Because a lot of people just want to smoke weed because it's fun, but there's a lot of
we have those too.
Yeah, exactly. Expand on that a little bit.
It's formatted to be a cannabis conversation infused with house music, fun and informative. So that's just the way it's supposed to be because that's how weed is. It's recreational and medicinal, fun and informative. So we try to keep it on those bases. Also, my son Thomas, he has his medical card. He is medicinal because he has sickle cell disease. So he will be, sickle cell disease is not something that you can get rid of. So he is in massive pain all the time. So he is fully, we've managed to get him off of all hospital medicines because he was on a lot over the years. So he only smokes weed, medicinal weed, and takes vitamins now. And just seeing his personal recovery, that inspires us more than anything because not only, this is a plant. This is, to us, this is something, from the universe. This is a plant. This is a plant that can house you, clothe you, feed you, and take care of you medicinally because they have been built houses out of the hemp plant. They've made clothes out of the hemp plant. And, of course, the edibles and the whole medicinal effect behind it. As far as recreationally, we're with it recreationally because my son is medicinal I'm more recreational-ish.
Right.
I should be medicinal, but yeah. If you think about it, and we've discussed this on our show as well, cannabis versus alcohol. There really isn't a whole lot of negativity surrounding alcohol. You know, you're not listening to someone, to someone who just smoked a full-blown blunt and turned around and beat up their wife. But this does happen with alcohol. And so, and that's just on the lighter end of why we believe it should be legalized. Medicinally, it has already proven to be effective for people, with cancer, people like my son who has sickle cell disease is no longer in pain, lupus, crazy people with anxiety,
Right.
Everything.
Right.
Seizure disorder. There's a whole list of things, and they are still studying this plant to find out what else it can do. People like Snoop Dogg has gotten into it, and some other I can't think of that we discussed on our program, but yes.
Just from the consensus that you said, a lot of people are kind of looking into it, trying to tap into more as far as what the cannabis is all about. Do you feel like there's more to be uncovered, or do you feel like it's kind of reached this plateau?
No. I feel like there's definitely more to be discovered, because I think it does more than what they believe it is. Because keep in mind, with the whole legalization of cannabis, it will definitely put big pharmacy at risk. A big pharma is huge. It's medicine. That's what. With the legalization of cannabis, it's going to challenge a whole lot of that, which is one of the reasons it remains federally illegal. You can't put it on your insurance. So it's pretty gangster. It's a cash business.
True. Which kind of brings into my next question with Denise Walker is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. It is legal in certain, I'm in California, so it's legal here. There's
y'all fully recreational.
As far as taxes or whatnot. Right. But it's not.
If I'm not mistaken.
Colorado is. Say it again, honey.
Oh, when you said taxes, I was going to make a comment. I think California taxes is right about 25%. on recreational weed. That means if I need $100, I got to be prepared to spend $125.
There you go. That's it. Baby, you already know. Okay. You already know. When you come out here, I'll take you to a spot, and you're going to be like, okay, yeah, you got the extra tax on you, right? All right, cool.
That's
good.
Right.
Damn, there you go. Colorado got it, too. There's certain parts. So you brought up money. So my question is, and I feel like I already know the answer, but I'm asking anyway, is why are they taking so long in all the other states?
To my knowledge, when I last looked, and I will have to go back over it, cannabis was legal either medicinally or recreationally in every state except 2. And the 2 that were, I can't even remember which 2 it was, the 2 that were not legal, they had some really interesting legalization rules for states that did not allow cannabis. Let's say it was still illegal, but if you were caught with it, you didn't really get in too much trouble. So they're on their way. I don't know. I do know that more states have come out, and it looks like, I'm in Maryland, so it looks like every state around me is becoming recreationally legal except us. But we are medicinal, so can't complain about that.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel that?
Yes, money-wise. Oh, my goodness, money-wise, I'm surprised it has not become recreationally legal because, the cannabis business, I think we just said it was something like $7 billion spent in cannabis paraphernalia. Not the actual weed. So, that just goes to show you how much is being spent. And if you do $7 billion times some taxes recreationally, I think medicinally it might not be taxes. That may be certain states, but to my understanding, medicinally is not taxed. Now, I'm going to have to ask my son, but I'm surprised that it's not, because with the amount of money that it would bring in when it is recreationally legal to the states would be astronomical.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's I always feel like this, especially when they made it legal in California. I was like, all right, cool, but California's going to do what they did, which is tax the hell out of it, right? And, Colorado, I think, was like one of the first ones. They have a certain tax in a surplus for it.
I think it was.
No, it wasn't.
No, I think Cali was, because I printed some papers, and if I'm not mistaken, Cali became legal 79 or 80.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and I thought, I went, wow, that's so surprising. I said, to think that weed was legal when I lived out there, because I lived in San Diego. Weed was legal when I lived out there, and I didn't know it. I mean, I was smoking, but I did not go to a dispensary of any sort. And I went, I just didn't know that it was legalized back then, or either it was somewhere between 79 and 81, I think, that it became legal in California.
Yeah, for sure celebrated, of course, during that point in time. And I think as far as, when they made that whole push about, putting it on the voting blocks, right, as far as, as let's vote to go ahead and legalize marijuana or whatnot. I think you're right, California, and then maybe Colorado came second or whatnot. What's the biggest myth, Ms. Chemical Denise Walker, that people out there have as far as a misconception about marijuana, period? Because there's a lot of myths out there.
And it's addictive. It's a myth. Okay. I mean, I even recently heard a hilarious commercial on the radio that said, if you need help stopping smoking marijuana. I went, oh, gracious, here we go with this again.
Oh Lord!
It's addictive.
What the hell is this shit? Like, what's going on here? Right? Like, Okay.
And I think the element of how high you can get. When you're high, you're just high. No matter how much you smoke, you're not going to get any higher. So you might as well save your cannabis for the next round. I tested the theory many times. 2 years ago, my son and I came to San Bernardino, California for Tommy Chong's Blazers Cup. That's a big weed festival that he has every year. It was in December, and they gives out big trophies for the best weed. And that was where I got to test my whole weed tolerance, because I was able to smoke uninhibitedly. Being a parent, my children didn't know I smoked, so this was really truly one of my first times. So my son and I, we just literally smoked from the time we got there till the time we got back, and I actually tapped out. I went, I just don't think I can get any higher. And this is in the middle of a festival where people are saying, try our weed. It was awesome. So I think that those are the two biggest myths. Yeah.
Yeah. So you feel like you hit a wall, like not a wall, but you hit a point, in smoking. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm high. I reached the maximum highness, if that's even a word that I could even have. Like,
oh yeah, I was totally maxed out. The floor felt like an ocean. I said, oh no, this is new. It was all right.
You're like, all right, I'm fucking done. I'm done. I'm done.
I put it up on Facebook Live too. It was an absolutely wonderful experience, because one, I did not know there was weed festivals, so that was great. My son found it online, and I went, oh wow, that sounds like fun. And I'm a Cheech and Chong fan from back when, because I'm from that era. So this is Tommy Chong, and we get out there, and it's everything. People in wheelchairs, people that either were retarded or look retarded, but everyone's high, and they want you to try their weed. And it was my first experience smoking wax. So I Facebook Live the whole thing, and I didn't even know what wax was when they let me try it. But it was just an all-around learning experience because the bud tenders were very informative. From how they grew it to what it was good for. What it would help you with. From headaches to sexual issues, anything. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Oh, you didn't know that? They got, they have strains of weed for sexual issues?
Nah, tell me a little bit more about that. I'm curious.
Oh, yeah. Apparently there's a weed. I have to find out. There's a strain, which form it comes in. Particularly for males, I do believe it's a rub to help you maintain and or get an erection, whatever way it may be. And for the women, what I understand is that it's a thing called RSO oil, and it's a bit of an insertion. And one of my personal favorites, non-favorites, which is not sexual, is the one for menopause, is an anal suppository.
Really?
I passed on that one. I'll just smoke.
Hey, but them other ones, we might have to experiment with that though, because I didn't even know that. You just gave me up on something that I did not know. So. Oh
yeah, we had a good time with that on one of our programs. We had a good old time talking about that. It was hilarious. Yeah.
So this enhances sexual desire as well, not just maintaining
or
an erection,
reaching maximum orgasm, whatever you need it for.
Really?
Mm-hmm. From my understanding, yes.
You and I, we don't have to talk about this a little bit more in detail. You know what I'm saying?
In fact, I'm going to make note to self to stop that. Hey, look, you out there where it's recreational, you could probably go ahead and walk across the street somewhere and ask the bud tender, hey, let me know about that sexual weed, brother.
That part. That's what I'm saying. You need to get... Listen, you need to get down here so you can kind of walk me through a couple things and be like, yo, this is where we need to be. So I'm going to be like, all right, then, that's where we need to be then. So
you've not gone to a dispensary?
I have, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, I was very excited. No, you have to go and you must talk about it. I mean, I've not had a bad experience in any dispensary yet.
Right. And that's the thing, I don't think that I've asked enough questions, but see, now talking to you, I feel like I should. And not only that, that's why I feel like, this is a cool, not just interview, and my guest, the beautiful Chemical Denise Walker, is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. I think it's cool for the people out there to know, because I'm sure, hey, listen, and not only that, Best Buds with Tom and Mom is definitely the place to go tap in and get all the information as well. But I think it's cool that, there is point in times where people can be able to tap into what you're talking about, what you're doing, and stuff like that, so they can get gamed up. Because, like I said, I've just been educated by you, and I'm sure there's going to be so many other people out there listening who did not know or probably do, and okay, well, you know what? I need to go to my dispensary down the street, around the block or whatnot, and act. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a good game.
Talk to your fellow bud tender. And, it's things that I find there's a lot of things that people wouldn't normally think to look up. I was amazed that weed was good for asthma. My son no longer has asthma. He also had seizure disorder, asthma, all accompanied with sickle cell disease. Now, normally you think, weed smoking, but weed comes in so many forms. It comes in edibles, tinctures, which is which you can put little dabs or whatever under your tongue or under your lip. There's also pills. There's a pill form. And they also have nasal sprays, for we did a show once where they showed a baby having a seizure, and they did a nasal spray up the child's nose. So when you take a look at weed, we all know the fun side of it, but, medicinally, it has more medicinal effects than people are even aware of, to include sexual things and side effects. But weed is also a natural aphrodisiac. So why wouldn't they look into it for the sexual benefits, for men and women?
That's true. The odds of hearing it right in the face. But you're right, though. Denise, the obvious staring at you right in the face is one where you're like, yo, I should have known this, but I didn't until now. So, you learn something. You know how you learn something new every day? Boom, there you go.
Oh, we did.
Right
we
there.
learned on our show from our guests, just like you.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So where you want to, a couple of years into Best Buds, Tom and Mom, it's to me, like I said, the vibe that I get from you guys is great. The way you put it together is so conscious, driven, so much fun, so good to look at, beautifully done.
Thank you.
You want to grow this thing, right? Where do you see this taking off
absolutely.
at? You want it to be nationally syndicated. What you want, baby? What you want?
Oh my goodness! If I would say yes, and yes. We definitely want to grow the program. One, because we were described by another radio program as a unique duo, and then a format has been somewhat simulated. So, of course, I would like to become nationally syndicated. I guess I don't know what else to say about that. We definitely want to grow it. We're on the internet, but so is everyone else. So
True.
Trying to gain a huge audience, whatever way we can, would be great.
Okay. Well, champion your
And you're
cause,
only the second
definitely
person to ask if we wanted to be syndicated. You're the second person to ask me that question in 2 years. The first person was Garland Nixon. He frequently visits our show. He's a weed activist, but he's also one of America's favorite political analysts. It's always fun to have him on our program. But he asked me if we were interested in being syndicated. Oh, yeah.
See? Listen,
nice.
we're gonna speak it into existence, and we're gonna make sure that we tap in. One thing that I know is important, and I know you've been around this block plenty of times to know there's so many different avenues in different states and different places, cities or whatnot that has, possible business partnerships, sponsorships, all that stuff or whatnot. So with it being on the cusp of it being a growing, thriving business, doesn't matter where you're at, what you're doing, and once it becomes legal,
right?
They're going to obviously find certain ways. You see this as an industry that will continue to live on forever, right? Because it is natural from the earth, made for you and me, right?
Well, absolutely, and I hope so, because I consider it an industry that should have never been gone anyways, because when you look back into the history of how weed even became illegal, it was really just a whole little system of greed and jealousy. And the bottom line is the Caucasians were saying that when the Caucasian women smoked weed, it was making them drop their panties for the blacks and the Mexicans. Henceforth, they called the name marijuana. Well, now they've even they're even trying to pass some law to get, the name changed to out of marijuana, because marijuana is actually what we call the slave name for weed. So we don't even use the term on our show. We call it everything except that. So, and if you look at, I looked it up, and if you look at the bottles of medicines back into the 1800s, it specifically says indica and sativa on the medicine bottles. So it was back in the medicines back when. So it should have never been taken away. Well, I think it's interesting, the Caucasians took it away. Now they try to take it.
Yeah,
did I say that on your radio program?
Absolutely, damn right you can. Damn right. And not only are they trying to take it, they trying to change the name, all that shit, right? So it's like, what the hell do you want it to be, right? Like, to me, it's just, first you take this, now you're trying to take that too? Get the fuck out of here.
I told you they kept it gangster, cash business. You got to have X amount of thousands of dollars. Not credit.
Right.
Not credit. Cash.
Right.
I went, well, it don't get no more gangster than that. Now do it.
Exactly. And see, this is why.
No colored folk allowed. Well, they forgot about the rich ones. I don't know what they was thinking.
Exactly. And this is why it's important, like, to have a show like yours, you know what I mean? Best Buds, Tom and Mom, just having that opportunity to put real game out there. Like, it's you know what? It's a place for everybody to be able to profit and do all that stuff out there, but people who's really into it for, like you said, for, you know, medical purpose, get that weed for, you know, personal, whatever the case may be, whatever it's going to make you feel. Like you said earlier, it's important. People drink and they drive and they die and all that stuff, or you drink, you alcohol, you beat on somebody, whatever the case may be. I ain't never heard of a person going to jail for drive-by weed, hit and run, or fighting or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's important to have shows
change
like
their
yours
mind. Oh, I don't think I'll kill anybody today.
No, you wouldn't kill me,
they'll
baby,
change
right?
their mind. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I remember growing up and they talked about weed being legal in what is that country that is known for that? Amsterdam. Amsterdam,
absolutely.
The dirty country or wherever it was. Yeah, I think it was Amsterdam. Weed was legal in Amsterdam, and they talked about the low crime rate, and this was years and years back.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was years and years back.
Chemical, it's still like that, though. It's still Amsterdam. It's still a spot. They got little, you know how you have Starbucks out here, right? And you know, in the United States, they got a Starbucks for weed. Like, that's it. Everybody just go.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of what I want.
Out. What's up?
Yeah. That's kind of what I wanted, you know, the coffee, you know, like a Starbucks for weed. From my understanding, we have one in Westminster, Maryland. So I haven't been there to check it out, but I want to. But yes, it's just like,
you know what? That would be the best business ever if that is tapped into something on a deeper level. Like, I know California is legal, but they don't have that out here, right? They got you know, they got dispensaries, but they don't have that, baby. They don't. Not out in Northern California, at least. Right. That's what I mean.
I'm disappointed.
It's meant for you to come out here and plant your flag, baby. You got to come out here and make it happen. make it happen.
You know what?
That's it.
I think that sounds like a good idea. It's good timing. I got time to do these things.
I'm telling you, you and I, we got a lot to discuss, talk about, deal with, do all that. Chemical, Denise Walker's my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio, and where can the people find you, my dear? Where can they search for you, find you, all that good stuff?
Thank you for asking. Oh, and I wanted to say hello to my son, Tom. I know he's sleeping because that's why he's not on the show. Thomas has to be to work at 4 o'clock in the morning, so he's asleep. We have a page on Facebook. It's Best Buds with Tom and Mom. It's capital BEST. There's no space. Then capital BUDZ. Best Buds with Tom and Mom. Also, my personal page is where most of the programs are, and then I transfer them to our other page, and that's Chemical Denise Walker. I do believe my son has the Instagram page. I do not want to give out the wrong one. I do believe it's the 420_Best Buds. I think that's it. Now, we have a YouTube channel, but being as though I'm not tech savvy, I haven't fully gotten that done. Look, we had our cannabis style business meeting. My son and I. This is what we do, and we set up our social networks because I'm not tech savvy. I'm the fun, and he's the informative in our program. He's really down with everything that goes on. He's totally into it. I'm more the goofy, fun, recreational side. So we had a business meeting, and we set up the YouTube page. We have Twitter. I'm supposed to do that, too. That's also Best Buds with Tom and Mom, same spelling, because we try to keep it consistent. Yeah, Best Buds with Tom and Mom, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And what we gonna
do on Nexxlegacy is make sure that we spotlight all social media access for y'all to be able to tap in, down, follow, support, from the YouTube to the Instagram to the Facebook and all that. We'll make sure that we go ahead and put you on the front page.
Do that. Do that. Help us out. Get us out there. We got something to say.
Hey, and every day though, like I know your air times. Like, what are your air times? You air weekly, right?
Oh yes, I did forget that. Currently, we are on Monday, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. We only do an hour. We can go longer. We've just chosen not to. We think that an hour is more, consistent with the stonery personalities. We don't want to be on too long. But that's just for now. Every Monday, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m., and that's on our time.
And you got people wanting more. So, an hour is good enough. You get an hour, you get in, you get out. You want people like, hey, where'd they go? You got to wait till next week to get another hour. So
sometimes we go over, sometimes we're shorter. That's why we don't podcast. We like to keep our programs, true to our personalities. We like to keep our mistakes real and, just keep them the way they go. But
that's what it is.
Sometimes we go longer, sometimes we go shorter.
That's what it is. Sometimes it be like that, though. I love it. And as we get ready to wrap this up, you were so funny. I read your mind.
Really? Because I'm not even stoned. I stayed relatively sober for this interview. I said I had to keep my mouth straight. So.
Why? Now, you know what? We got to have, all right then. So if you did that, and if you're relatively sober, we're going to have to have one where you're, you know what I'm saying, you're turned up a little bit.
When I'm feeling enlightened.
Yes, when you're feeling enlightened.
When I'm feeling enlightened, yes.
You're going to have to come back when you're feeling that way, too, so I can get the other side of all things chemical Denise Walker. So you're going to have to tap back in. But
please
there's going to be some other things that we'll discuss and talk about as well. What's that?
I said they have a weed for focus, so please do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you better believe it. So, hey, listen, since you just told me something new about, sexual things and whatnot, so, okay, that's something new. All right, cool.
Hell with the focus weed. Right, give me the sex stuff.
Hey. That's what's up. One thing as we close that I got to tell you, and I told you this when we first we had conversations, I definitely appreciate what you're doing right now. It's needed. I mean, you've been doing this for a couple of years. You had one person that say it should be syndicated and put up on the higher plateau. You deserve that. I'm saying it as well. You've earned that 2 years in. And not only that, keep applying. Like, I feel like your show keeps applying pressure to the people out there that's really in need of legalizing this in every state, every country, yes, whatever the case may be. And you got that. It's all about expanding that platform right now.
There's a lot of need. Yes. Thank you.
And you deserve it. I mean, you and your son are doing something that, like I said, both sides of the fence, right? He needs it on the medical side. You got it for recreational. There's a lot of weed to go out there to a lot of people. So, the fact that you guys are doing it on the level like this is definitely genuine. It's unique. It's authentic. And it's right for people out there to just kind of go into it. It's $1 billion company. And, you're just trying to fit in that $1 billion world right now. You got this.
Billion with a B. $1 billion.
With a B. Damn right. Yes. Billion.
Yeah,
I appreciate the interview, sweetheart. We gotta do a part 2, but also we got other side business we'll talk about off air.
Thank you.
And whatnot. Can you give some? I know you gave your son a shout out. You got any more people you want to say what's up to?
No, I'll do that when I talk to him. Thank you,
I love it.
No, but thank you so much for having me. This is fun, and I'm definitely looking forward to doing more things with our Nexxlegacy Radio. I mean, I love the name in itself. So Thank you so much.
Listen, baby,
so
we
much for
got
having
you.
me
You know,
on.
we got you. Chemical Denise Walker is my beautiful guest.
Thank you for tuning in to the LPS, the interview and radio station for the people. Executive